For the second day in a row, I've left that my own compact disc of that at home, but this time we managed to get to the BBC Record Library in time to borrow theirs. The compact disc is called Moanin' and Howlin' Wolf, and some 24 tracks on there, all on Chess Records, and not a bad track. That one was called You'll Be Mine. And this is from Fudge Tunnel, penultimate from... Is that right? Penultimate from them? Indeed it is. This is Sweet... No, hold on. Yes, it is Sweet Meat. Fudge Tunnel in session, and a good rousing session it is too. That track's called Sweet Meat, and according to... well, they're going to be playing, hold on a second, Friday the 13th, this Friday, in Nottingham again, with at a place called Mr Bojangles, sorry, with Sink and Shudder to Think. Shall I tell you that one again, because I messed it up? Fudge Tunnel, Sink and Shudder to Think, Mr Bojangles, Nottingham, this Friday. Then Saturday the 21st of July, Falcon in Camden, London, and then on Saturday the 28th of July, in Somerset at the Bridgewater Arts Centre, and more dates in August, but they don't tell me what they are. This is Sweet Mercy. Oh, no. I was busy setting up another clever segue in the record, and it's bound to happen. Tonight's the night. Sweet Mercy, and that's on Blip Records, and it's called Reach Out, and there's obviously a much longer version with a lot more vocals on it on the other side of that. These are the Pixies and Velouria. Wish you could have heard the segue. You'd have loved it. Loved it.
A lot of these people do like music. A lot of them...
General penitentiary. the big fools. Rehabilitated prisoners, they claim they uphold. Yearning for freedom with you, I condole. In the general penitentiary. General penitentiary. General penitentiary. Cell that never empty. Oh no way, never empty. I know it never empty. It never empty. No, it never empty. Lord, it never empty. General, 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 general penitentiary. Yeah, penitentiary.
After all that, of course, I cocked up the segue when I got round to doing it, but I quite like the excitement of it. I mean, you probably think, what is he up to, silly old twerp? But, I mean, I like juggling with all of the records and things. It would be possible, obviously, to put them onto tape and so on to make sure you didn't get it wrong, but at the same time, you know, it's, hey, I need some excitement, you know. That was LIDJ Incorporated on Youth Sound Records, more to do with WAU Mr. Modo, and General Penitentiary was the title of that. Before that, the Pixies and Velouria, of course, from the current 12-inch. There's also a 7-inch version of that, although I've not seen one of those, but obviously that'll probably be pretty darn collectible, especially for people, you know, who've got mates in the States. Get hold of a copy of it and send it to them, because they don't make 7-inch records over there anymore, they do tell me. This is from Fudge Tunnel, the last of them tonight in session, and it's called Breadcrumbs. Excellent indeed. That's Fudge Tunnel in session, the last from them. Tomorrow night, a session, let me remind you, from Happy Flowers. On Thursday, it's a repeat of the Dawson session. That was called Breadcrumbs. And after the news, at 10 o'clock, Nicky Campbell into the night with special guest John Mayall. And I was talking to John Mayall about half an hour ago, because I used to know him, you know, back in the end of the 60s, before you were born, most of you. Oh, I could tell you some tales. And he was saying that he was in Helsinki last night, Calgary tomorrow night. And here am I worrying about commuting in and out of London. This is from Major Problems. This item's called Overdose, the final trip by Major Problems on New Groove Records. And as I said, you heard a session tonight from Fudge Tunnel, and a very good one it was as well. Tomorrow night, The Happy Flowers, definitely not to be missed. Coming up next is the news. That'll be followed by Nicky Campbell, who's all primed and ready to rock. Off you go. Don't forget your woolies tonight.
At 10 o'clock, Peter Bowes reporting. It's been predicted that within the next few years, homosexuals will no longer be the largest group suffering from AIDS in Britain. The growing trend of HIV infection among the heterosexual population is revealed in new figures from the Department of Health. John Devitt reports.
The latest quarterly AIDS figures show that homosexual and bisexual men still account for 80% of current cases, but the most rapid spread of the disease is among other groups. AIDS acquired by heterosexual intercourse has almost doubled from 102 to 201 cases, and for those affected by sharing needles from 61 to 117 cases. The department admits that the percentages are small, but there is evidence for a rapid increase among these groups. The latest figure for people known to be infected with HIV is now over 14,000, although the real total could be much higher.
More than 3,000 Albanians who've taken refuge in Western embassies in the capital Tirana are likely to be moved from the country by sea later this week. The Italian government says they'll be transported on civilian vessels to ports on Italy's Adriatic coast nearby. Leaders of the 7 major industrialized nations meeting in Houston have formally committed themselves to helping the Soviet Union achieve a market economy. However, the political declaration issued this evening doesn't specify how aid should be given, an issue that split the summit. Britain is to station an extra warship in the Caribbean to help combat drug smuggling. Mrs Thatcher, who's in Houston, announced the decision as part of a package of measures to help the Colombian authorities in their fight against the drug barons. The Irish Republic's ambassador to Syria has arrived in Damascus amid reports that another Western hostage may be released soon in Lebanon. Declan Connolly said he was optimistic it will be Brian Keenan, who holds an Irish passport. 1,500 people have fled their homes in the south of France because of a major forest fire. 600 firemen are fighting the blaze, which has sent thick clouds of smoke billowing over the city of Marseille. That's it. We'll have more news in the morning at 5:30.
1FM, Nicky Campbell.
On Into the Night this evening between 10 and 12, a man instrumental in shaping the talents of Eric Clapton, Peter Green, John McVie, and countless others. John Mayall. Father of the British blues, catalyst extraordinaire, talking, singing, and playing live tonight. Don't miss it. He's right, don't.
Nicholas Andrew Argyle Campbell.
It's Tuesday night, etc., etc. I'd play all that normal bit for you, but I've lost the tape.
Thank you very much to John Peel, and that rather ungrammatical and hammed-up trailer I recorded yesterday, but I thought I'd give it to you again because it rather sums up the situation. John Mayall with 3 musicians, Coco Montoya, Fribo and John Uele, are coming in later on, and I've heard the rehearsal. It's going to be a sublime night's music. They're playing 4 blues numbers. We're on the real raw edge of the blues tonight. We're going to cut it up rough. This is Into the Night on Rockin' Radio 1FM.